The question many people may ask is, how did my daughter die? Iyhari was 12 years old on October 16th, 2024. Her and I, we both ate unknowingly. We didn't know that the food was on recall. I didn't realize it after it took her life. But on October 16th, 2024, we both ate chicken Alfredo, and she told me her stomach was hurting, and like my first initial thought, I thought she was maybe gonna start her period for the first time. And the next day, no, that evening, we went to Big Brother, Big Sister, because I was trying to get them involved in like therapy and like mentoring programs, and it truly helped her. Like she enjoyed it. She enjoyed going, and they had got a sponsorship um, from New Shoe Day. They got brand new shoes, and like Iyhari, like her spirit was so bubbly. Like she was just always so happy and so appreciative and so grateful. Like man, like any you can give her an eraser for your pencil. Like she gonna be so grateful. So she was so excited about the shoes, and when they told her to put the shoes on to do a silly dance, like she looked back at me and I just looked at her. I said, "Oh, she really don't feel good because usually she'd be bubbly." And so she had her hand over her mouth, and she I asked her like, cause I'm like sitting like in a waiting room like where the parents supposed to stay. Like I asked her like from a distance, do you have to vomit? So when she shook her head yes, and she covered her mouth. She tried to make it to the bathroom, and she had vomited all over the floor. And the vomit was like the color of pink starburst. It was like that bright. So I was like, what the heck? Like, so now my second thought, like maybe she got a bug from school or something, because my son kept getting strep throat from school. So maybe I thought like maybe she has a bug too. So the next day, the 17th, she pretty much just stayed in bed the whole day. The 18th, October 18th, I had a seizure that morning. So I wasn't like in my right mind because like seizures drain you. I have a long history of seizures, and later that evening, though, like midday, she watched a movie with me. And one thing about Iyhari, like she was 12, but I don't know what age. Probably like 7, 8, 9. Like, when kids are little, like, okay, the new Lion King's coming out. Like, oh, about to sit down and, have a family movie. Like, she'll be excited. But now, like, as she got older, like, she's like, I'm a big kid now. So I'll be more excited about kids' movies than she was. So she would never, like, watch a movie with me. But this particular day, her last day on Earth, she watched this movie with me. I can't remember the name of it, but I have the picture in my phone. But this movie, it was like an old movie. Like, you have like a smart TV and it's playing like the the ads on the TV, and I just clicked on it for background noise. But her and I, we watched it, and it was pretty much these kids went into like this cave area, and when you walk into the cave, you're like literally going into like a whole nother dimension, and you don't even know it. So pretty much from the outside looking in, the parents are looking for their missing kids, but they're inside this cave where I'm assuming time stands still because they did not age, but it was like a portal. They didn't know it. But as I look back at that, like it makes me emotional because for one, she never watched movies with me, but for that to be the last movie that we watched, and what I got from that on a spiritual level, like her crossing over, like her transitioning. So yeah, so that was nice. And so like later that day, like like when a parent know that type of cry, that type of scream, like if a little toddler bump their leg, like they okay. It's like that certain type of scream, that certain type of cry where as a parent that you just gotta jump up and go. So she was upstairs in her room, and like she let out this certain type of scream. So she did ask me to take her to the hospital, in my mind, because of our health issues. And I've always been germophobic before COVID. Like I've always like I wish I could have kept my kids in bubbles, like the movie Bubble Boy. Like, I wanted to protect my kids so much. And she did have a blood disorder, but I never knew too much about it. The doctor just always told me, like, if she ever become like jaundice of the skin or the eyes or dark urine, like, other than that, it wouldn't, nothing should affect her. So, like, I never saw any signs or anything. So I'm not thinking this in relation of her consuming the recalled food. So I wanted to take her, like, in my mind, I wanted to take her like 5 o'clock in the morning, where in my mind, where I think the waiting room is empty. And that was only because for one, like, germophobic, and I never knew how germs would affect her. So I was always like cautious of that. Like, we still wore face masks and stuff. People will make fun of us, but you just never know. You never know what somebody's going through, what type of health issues somebody have, and stuff like that. So I pray she don't feel like I declined her, because I wasn't declining her. I just was trying to protect her. But at the end of the day, that was later. That was early in the day when she asked. But at the end of the day, when she did that scream, like, I knew it was time to go. But I'm still like, you just, as a parent, you just don't think like, is my child dying? You just don't think that. Especially, like, just from them saying, like, their stomach hurt with all these flus and, just bugs going around. So your mind just don't go there. So, but I did. I picked her up immediately. Like, she was so weak. She was so wobbly. Like, she could barely walk. So I'm getting in the car, and I truly believe it took us 24 minutes to get there to the hospital. And it's so crazy because I was in labor with Iyhari. I gave birth to her in 24 minutes. Like, she was 12. She was born in year 2012. 12 plus 12 was 24. Like, I gave birth to her in 24 minutes, and she came out. She went out this world in 24 minutes. Because, like, the drive, she just, like, she was quiet. It just felt like she was trying to be strong for me. It really do. It felt like she was trying to be more strong for me, but it's just not registering. Like, it just didn't. I'm driving. I'm trying to get there, but you just don't think, like, is my child dying? I didn't know. So it's like the closer I got to the hospital, she just started saying her stomach was burning. So we was at this light. It was a red light. It was a car, and it was a police. And I wanted to so bad. I wanted to flick my lights. I wanted to blow my horn. I wanted to flag the police down so he could cut his lights on and just guide us there. But I was so scared because I felt like if I wanted to go past the police. I wanted to go past the light. And I felt like the police would chased us and shot the car up. So I didn't do it. It's like that light was red for so long. So it's like, once we get there, she's like seizure. She started seizuring, but she's going in and out of consciousness. So the moment I turned into the children's hospital, it's so stupid how they had this valet. Like, any other hospital, you should be able to just pull up to the door and receive help, whether the doctors come out or you run in. They have this stupid valet to where it's like a Burger King line, like the thick curve. If it's cars in front of you, you can't go around, because that's how they have their valet. So it's like the moment I turned it to the valet, and the last words she said was, "Lord, please take away the pain." That was the last thing she said. And he did. It just didn't register because I wasn't in my right mind. Like, being that, like, the history of seizures I have, my memory, like, they didn't have any seizures. Like, I just was not there. And I try not to give a lot of credit to the devil, but I really feel like, I truly feel like, I feel like the devil was attacking me prior to her passing. I feel like no matter what route I would have took, no matter if I would have took her on the 16th, I feel like no matter what I have done, if it was meant to be, like, God don't make mistakes. It was God. If it was God's will for her to go, like, I truly believe no matter what I would have done, because it's like the closer I got, like, she was quiet in the beginning of the ride, you know? And it was like the closer, like once we start getting closer, it's like death sped up. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand how it happened that fast off from her head. Her stomach was hurting. And so she was saying she never showed no signs of her chest hurting. She never showed no signs of can't breathe. Because they're blaming it on her heart. Like, they're saying her cause of death is myocarditis. Like, that just don't make sense to me. I understand that myocarditis is inflammation of the heart. But let's put two and two together. Like, she ate food on recall. That's going to cause internal conflict. That's going to cause things going on internally where her heart gave out. That's common sense. I could believe that part. But don't just sit here and blame it on her heart. You know, that's not fair. This is literally her favorite food. Like, if y'all was to look at my page, y'all see how much I cook. I love cooking. I could cook a whole Thanksgiving meal. When I say this little girl can eat, she can eat a whole plate seconds, but she will always go in that deep freezer and get her one of those chicken Alfredos. That was her favorite food. So that's how much she can eat. So it's like, to eat your favorite thing in the world, and that's what take you out. Like, wow, you know? So the moment I turned into the valet, she took her last breath. She said, Lord, please take away the pain. And she took her last breath, but it's not registering that was her last breath. I thought she was in and out of consciousness, because that's how my seizures be. My seizures and my hemiplegic migraines, like, mine literally mimic strokes, to where my speech go out, to where one side of my body I can't move. I'll be temporarily paralyzed. Like, if I have a seizure and I'm like, I fall into whatever type of position to where my circulation's cut off and nobody's there, there's no telling what will happen, you know? I can't move, I can't talk. So I thought she was unconscious, because that's how my seizures be. And so I'm outside, I'm like screaming for help. I'm like screaming for somebody to give me like a wheelchair so I can pick her up and rush her in, because I'm just not registering that she's gone. So when I put her in a wheelchair and I pushed her to the hospital, they didn't tell us to go left to the waiting room, which I thank God. But they did allow us to go straight back, but she was just sitting there. Now, this is a children's hospital. Like, nobody ever said, ma'am, are you okay? Is she okay? Do she need help? Like, what's going on? Nobody was concerned. She was already gone, but I didn't know. She was already gone. So I'm like, literally, this when I started recording on my phone, I'm beating on her sternum. I'm checking her pulse. I don't feel nothing, but it's just not registered, because y'all can't tell me you just don't think that your child is gone. So they were more concerned. They were more concerned about me checking her in, like me giving her name, date of birthday. So as I step aside to give that information, it's like a nurse or doctor, I don't know which one he was, but they didn't have no available rooms. Only room that they had was like the type for like a baby. They got like the cage crib, so they had to roll that out. Meanwhile, she's just there, deceased and gone, but I didn't know. So when he rolls the bed out to make room for her, when he pushed her in with the wheelchair, he's like, I don't think, like, so nonchalant, like, I don't think she's breathing. So I'm over here giving her name, date of birthday. And I was like, wait, what did he say? So once they said that, they immediately took her back. They immediately pushed me into, I'm doing air quotes, they pushed me into this quiet room. Now, when I look at my recording, that recorded when I'm beating on her sternum and checking her pulse, is like 8:35 p.m. And I really believe like her time of death, her true time of death is like, I'll say like 8:30, 8:32 or whatever. But I understand that time of death only can be declared by a legal doctor. So from 8:35, when I'm recording and checking her pulse, don't feel nothing. And I say about 8:40 or 8:38. I'm not under, I don't remember exactly how many minutes she's sitting there. But they immediately take her back. So when they put me into this quiet room, I'm there by myself. So the first update was like, her pulse is steady, but we got her back. So I'm sitting there like, what is going on? Like how, like what just happened so fast? You know, like she was talking at home. She was, you know, I could tell she didn't feel well, but how did she decline so fast? So the second update was like, her heart collapsed, her lungs collapsed. We're going to have to put her on the ECMO machine. Now, I have never heard of that a day in my life. So I'm like, what is that? That's the machine that pumps the heart for you. I'm like, okay. So the third update, I can't recall the time in between each update. But as I was like doing my research, I don't know if this is worldwide, but I believe by law they have to administer CPR for up to 40 minutes. Now, let's just say from 8:40, and I'll continue. Then the time frame will make sense. So, the third update, they come in and say, if you have any family members, it's best you give them a call now. Now, you know, when a doctor tell you that, you know, it don't mean no good. So I'm like, I'm just, you know, I'm like just trying to keep it together. So like, wow. So when I ask, can I see her? When I say these people, like, they pretty much was like so nonchalant, like pretty much like long as you don't come out here hooping and hollering, like long as you don't be all ghetto and loud and ratchet, like that's really what they wanted to say, but they pretty much like telling me to keep it cute. You know what I'm saying? But who as a parent know how they're going to respond seeing their child dead and gone? Like, who knows how they're gonna respond? So when I walk inside, and I'm sorry because I thought this would be like movies. I thought I didn't see no ECMO machine. I thought there was machines to pump the heart for you or to administer CPR, or if there's people doing it, I thought people take turns. Like, I'm talking about when, and you can see how little she was. She was so skinny. Like, it was like this big lady doing compressions on her, and every compression, like the tube that was down her throat, every compression, I can't necessarily say blood was gushing out, but it looked like pink starbursts. It didn't even look like blood. So every compression is gushing out. And I literally had just got there, and it's a lady standing off to the side, like so nonchalant, so arrogant, and so rude. She just like, I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds and I'm gonna call it. So I'm looking at her like, call what? Like, I just got here. Like, what is y'all calling? So in my mind, like, I truly felt like it was like a giant countdown. I thought it was like 10, 9. Like, I literally, like, once she said I'm going to give it 10 more seconds and I'm going to call it, I truly felt like when it got to 3, 2, 1, I'm sitting here praying like, Lord, you don't have to do anything else for me if you could just do this one favor for me. And I thought when it go 3, 2, 1, she would sit up and breathe. And she did it. But the moment they called her time of death at 9:22 p.m., October 18, 2024, the moment they called her time of death, I started recording, and she squeezed my hand. And she was nodding her head. I'm sitting there screaming at them like, she moving. I was like, she's moving. Like, I was like, y'all not gonna help her. They looked at me like they looked at me like, so what? Like, they looked at me like she wasn't nothing. Like, I didn't matter. Like, she didn't matter. So the moment they call her time of death, need to calm down, I need to breathe. The moment they call her time of death, immediately, they take me back to this stupid quiet room. Now I'm being interrogated by CPS, a detective, and someone from the coroner's office. Now, I'm going to tell you how it happened, then I would tell my response looking back at everything. But pretty much they asking me what happened. I simply tell them what happened. Like, we both, it's not even about me. Like, she ate, at this time, I'm not knowing the food is on a recall. And what made me look this up, I say like, probably like a week before she passed, we're lactose intolerant. And I usually buy lactate milk. And I had bought some lactate milk like probably like a week before she passed. And when I got home, like when I opened the box, it looked like glue. Like the milk was disgusting. So that's what made me look up the recall on the milk. So I'm putting two and two together because I know what happened to my child. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I know what she ate. And she started complaining of her stomach hurting. So when they're asking me what happened, I'm letting them know what brand it was. Like she ate this food and she started complaining. You know, everything that I said at the beginning of this video. So they're taking notes and da-da-da-da-da. But looking back at this, they already had it in their mind based off the cut. I don't care what nobody say. They already had it based up in my mind because of what I look like, that I did this to my daughter. There was no compassion. There was no empathy. There was no sympathy. There was no concern. There was none of that. I don't care what nobody say. If she was, y'all know what? They would have met me outside. They would have asked if she okay. They probably would have saved her life. Like, stop playing with me. This world is so wicked. She's a child. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. Should no child, should no elderly people, should no disabled, should no sick, should no human being have to eat food and be gone for the stupid society y'all allowing these ingredients in this food. To eat something and be gone 2 days later? Are you kidding me? That is crazy. So, her time of death was 9:22 p.m. October 1824. They didn't get done talking to me till like 11:30. So I'm like, what happens next? They like, now we gotta follow you home. And I'm like, I'm thinking like, I promise I wasn't thinking because I was not in my right mind. I'm not thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking. That don't even make sense. But they follow me home. So I'm OCD. Like, I love a clean house. And everything in here is brand new. And she never slept. Like, overnight, she has never slept in her bed, right? So y'all know when y'all have a brand new bed, brand new mattress with I keep the plastic on. And you know when you have like a silk fitted sheet, how it slides off. So when the man, not the coroner, the detective, he's walking around taking pictures of all my prescribed medications and stuff like this. Ain't nothing but stuff for migraines. Like, don't make it seem, because I've never done drugs a day in my life. I ain't never smoked a day in my life. I ain't never been in the club. My kids are my work. I be in the house. So when I tried to flip the silk sheet on the mattress, he was like, "Don't touch that. Don't touch." I said, "Oh my God." I was like, "My bad." I said, "I'm sorry. I'm OCD. I just like a clean house. I try to let the kids be independent and teach them to make their own bed. But on the flip end, it irks me when somebody's bed is not made." So I was like, I just did laundry now for 10 years. Sunday is my laundry day. That's my laundry day, and that's the day I do my kids' hair for school so they could be good for the week. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna say, "You just did laundry. Why did you just do laundry?" As if my daughter washed the sheets and then brought her in. Like, man, this how they coming at me. So I wholeheartedly, deep down in my soul, my spirit, my whole heart, I really feel like whatever they put in their notes. Oh, and he also asks, towards the, he was like, don't touch that. We're waiting on forensics to get here to take pictures of your whole entire house. So I'm like, now I'm looking at them like, what is all this for? Like, what? So I'm so confused, but I had to talk to multiple people and understand. I understand it is some horrible, I don't even want to call y'all parents. It is some horrible people in this world that do harm kids. I understand that. I truly do. I truly, truly do. But where is the compassion? Isn't the saying innocent until proven guilty? Like, where was the compassion in the beginning? Do your job, do your investigation. Once the results, as she would have been tested, once the results would have shown what was going on, then you could have been like, oh, this was a genuine mother that just lost her daughter. You understand? Or when she had an autopsy, if it would have shown any signs of abuse, which it did not, because that's what they were waiting on. They were waiting on, what did it rule out? I cannot remember that word. Ruled out, I cannot remember that word. But basically when you have an autopsy, it can show when you know what I'm saying. I don't know if I can say all this on YouTube. But that's what they were waiting on. So since it didn't, do you think I got an apology? No. I ain't gonna wait on either because I know I'm never gonna get it. But like, my point is, had y'all did y'all job correctly, no matter what y'all seen, I don't care if y'all been in forensics 20, 30, 40 years, that's not fair to treat everybody like a criminal. The criminal are the people that's allowing this stuff in our food. Those are the criminals. Even the CDC have announced that. I saw an article where 5 other people have ate chicken Alfredo as well and passed away. My daughter not a part of that number. She's not included in that because she was never tested at the time of her death. So now they got CPS drug testing me. Then he go to ask, did I still have the container? Did I still have the container of the Alfredo that she ate? I said, yes, I do. I said, I literally just took the trash out the trash can that's in the kitchen, but the trash bag was still in the garage. The trash have not ran yet. He go to say, oh, that won't be necessary. Why wouldn't that be necessary, sir? I wasn't in my right mind back then, but I really wish I could talk to these people because, like, why wouldn't that? That's literally the murder weapon. I don't know if I can say that. But that's literally the cause of, you know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't you want that as evidence? Because y'all already had the narrative in y'all mind when y'all took one look at me and assumed that I did it. Like, that's mind blowing. So fast forward to October 1st, 2025. I don't know if it was October 1st or October 3rd, whatever that following Monday is, that's coming up on her 1-year anniversary, October 18, 2025. So the whole entire time, and I don't even know if I can say this, but I don't care. The whole entire time, the coroner's office have been ignoring my lawyer's subpoena. So y'all been purposely doing this so she could not get tested. And they say it's only one place in the United States of America that can test for the CDC, right? So only a mother can advocate for their child. Ain't nobody gonna advocate for your child more than you. So I already see through the bull. I'm like, okay, I see October 18 is approaching. I already read y'all policy. Y'all only hold remains for up to 1 year. So I see what y'all doing. Y'all waiting for October 18th, 2025 to come around so y'all can discard the remains, the samples, right? So I'm on them. I think the October 1st to October 3rd, I talked to them in person, and yes, they send me 3 black women to come talk to me, because why? Okay. So, yeah. So now they're complying, right? But it still took a whole nother process, because that stuff didn't get sent out until then at the end of December 2025. But guess what the first hurdle was? The first hurdle was where it needed to go, the CDC of Atlanta. Because that's what I'm told. That's the only place in America, United States of America that could test for listeria. It was a shooting on the campus. So now I'm like, look at the devil trying to put roadblocks. I try not to get the devil a lot of credit, but look at him trying to put roadblocks, right? Then the next hurdle, the government shut down. So y'all know when the government shut down, they're not open. So I'm like so discouraged. I'm so stressed out. I'm trying to continue to be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. But it's so not fair because she should have been tested. She passed on a Friday, so of course her body didn't get to the morgue until that following Monday. I don't know if they opened at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., but I called at 8:01. If it was 9 a.m., I called at 9:01. They was like, her body is here. She has not been registered. Call back around 10. When I called back around 10, her autopsy was complete. How are y'all completing autopsies this fast? Why was she never tested for listeria, salmonella, have you pronounced those words? Anything with food related. Why wasn't my daughter tested? She should have been tested. Why wasn't the remains in her stomach tested? So now I'm gonna stop it there because I don't know if I can say the status as of right now. But it's just so not fair that she was not tested properly during her time of death. It's so messed up that these ingredients are allowed in our food. And what I'm doing now, I'm so glad, like the stuff with soup. Like, yeah, you see the stuff that's going on with McDonald's. Even McDonald's. Like shortly after she passed, I think like 5 people had died from McDonald's. From the onions and all that. I never, you couldn't pay me to eat their food again. I didn't eat it that much anyway to begin with. But now look at the CEO like scared to take a bite of it. That says a lot within themselves. Because they know that's pulling the same amble soup. That's pulling the same energy. That's for poor people. I wouldn't dare feed it to my family. He barely took a bite. That go to show you that they don't care about us. They do not care. It's so much bad stuff in this food, and I'm so glad when that came out, it educated me on engineered ingredients, you know? So I would never buy anything with that. But what's so sad about it? Some foods, when you look at the back of the ingredients, some foods have it says it at the bottom that it contains it. But what they're sneakily doing, now you have to use your phone to scan the QR code to go to a website. And they probably stealing so much data, you know what I'm saying? But like, now you got to go scan this QR code and do all this extra hula hoops just to see is that ingredient in there, which is ridiculous. It should be a simple logo, BE. Put it on the packages of meat. Put it on the food. Put the logo on the shelf so we can know as the consumer what we are consuming. But shouldn't, and then listeria usually only affect elderly people, pregnant people, and people with weak immune systems. I truly believe that she had that. Because I ate it too, and I felt sick, but I felt like my immune system could fight it. Hers couldn't. So should know, like I say, it don't matter if you healthy. It don't matter if you disabled, if it don't matter. Child, unborn, pregnant, elderly. This should not be going on in America. Like how they do the Amber Alert things, we should be getting alerts. We should be getting alerts. And I understand the elderly, so it's a lot of elderly, they still got landlines. They should be getting calls every day. Not even just food. It's so much medication on recall that elderly people don't even know about. I truly wish that laws could be changed, ingredients could be banned, and that nobody else died from eating food. Like, that's so not today, huh? She should have been 14 today. She would have been 14 today. My baby should be here. And that's one thing I would never ask God why. I would never blame God. I would never lose my faith in God. I would never. But it's so unfair. It's so unfair. But I truly believe, like, I believe that little girl was an angel and God allowed me to borrow her for 12 years. And I thank God for those 12 years. I thank God for every memory. And that's the thing, right? We sit here and say, Lord, perform a miracle. I want to make it to heaven. Ain't that the goal? We all got to die someday, but it's just like, I really, like, last thing, this is so off topic, but I was sitting there watching Kelly Rowland and Method Man new movie, and I'm like, cause my daughter, she was tall, like she had some legs on her, and I'm like, I'm steady looking at Kelly Rowland, like, dang, she kind of looked like Riri, like, oh my god, it made me. This is a goofy movie, like, you should be smiling watching this movie. It's about love, her trying to avoid love, and you should be feeling good and laughing. This movie made me cry because I'm looking at Kelly Rowland like, I really wish I could have saw what Iyhari could have grew up to be. I really wish she didn't even get to be a teenager. She was only 12. Like, I really wish I could have saw what she could have been as a teen. This little girl was so creative. This little girl would take a sock. Like, she'll take the sock off your feet and cut it up and make a doll dress. She was going to be so creative. Like, I was so looking forward to her future. But I'm done ranting. Like, y'all have a good one.